My name is Andrew, and this is the Who Dat Discussion, a New Orleans Saints podcast where we talk about all Saints news, opinions, and reactions. So before we get into some Saints news, I just wanted to say if you enjoy this podcast, please follow us on Twitter at the Who Dat Dis, on Instagram at Who Dat Discussion, and on Podomatic at the Who Dat Discussion. Also, please subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube, and over on all those sites, we are at the Who Dat Discussion as well. On there, please like our episodes, comment, and leave a review on iTunes. That's just really helpful to see how we're doing and how we can improve and what we're doing good. It's just, it's good to know. And that just helps us grow. If we can improve more things, that means more people are going to get to listen to us, and that's just what we want to do. We just want to connect with more Saints fans. That's why I started this. So, and also, if you like it, please share it. Share it on, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, anything, or just, people, your friends, family, stuff like that. That'd just be really helpful for me. So with all that said, I just wanted to get into some Saints news. So we got a lot of Saints news this week. As, many things have happened. Now we're going to the cut week with a lot of things happening. We have preseason game 4, which is when I'm recording. It's tonight because, we're going to be recording Thursday. I would love to record Friday. I'm just very, very busy this Friday. So it just wasn't going to happen. So, we'll pre-record it. So we won't be able to talk about the game. We'll talk about the game Monday if anything huge happens. But, we're going to do a lot of preview stuff this week and talk about the big news that the Saints traded for quarterback Teddy Bridgewater and a 6th round pick from the Jets. In exchange for a 3rd round pick. So first we'll just talk about Bridgewater's stats. So Bridgewater didn't play in 2017, 2016. He had over 3,300 yards. He had 14 touchdowns to 9 picks. His QBR was about 58, which is, about average, maybe a little below average, but it wasn't that bad. This preseason was where he really played great and showed a lot of strides. He was 28 for 38 for 316 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. He also had about a 75% completion percentage. That's just really big. You look at it, you see a lot of improvement from that 2016. And just the way he's throwing the ball, his deep ball looks a lot better, and also he looks better just about, even his accuracy on, because he had trouble with that early in his career, just accuracy, even on the short balls, but now he's throwing everything with more accuracy, and that's just really big for us, and that's probably why we, picked him, because he's just, just look at it, especially what Minnesota said. They said he's such a hard worker, he's going to get better each year, and he did that, coming on, and obviously the injury, he was their future, and then the injury really derailed that. They had to go to Keenum, and now they have Kirk Cousins, but you just look at it. It seems like Bridgewater will be a really good player for us if we need him in a pinch. I think he's one of the best backups in the league. I think he is the best backup. He just does a lot of everything correct. He can go in there. He's not going to try to be Drew Brees, which is obviously really big. He's going to be Teddy Bridgewater, and I think he can lead us in a couple of games. I think he could lead us to a couple of wins. I do think that, I think that's why he's really a starter. I think he'd be an average starter in this league, but now we have him as a, second string. That's really good. People were joking on Twitter that, we have the best 2 quarterbacks now in the division, so that's a funny thing. And then also, and just in case we don't sign him long-term, which I think we should. We got him. We gave a 3rd round pick. I think we should sign him long-term. He should be Brees' heir apparent. Everything I've seen, and then I think everything Sean Payton's seen, I don't think he would have made this trade if he didn't think that we could sign him and be the heir apparent to Drew Brees. But if we can't sign him, we will get a compensation pick, which is really big on that. And I think that will be around the 3rd, 4th rounder. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Even for 1 year, we're not going to miss that much. And then, as well, I think we should really sign him to that, that 5-year deal. I would sign him to a 5-year deal worth, I don't really know. To me, I would give him $10 million a year. I sign him 5 years, $50 million, and then the first couple of years, give him bench money. I'd say for the first 3 years, because I think Brees will probably play 3 to 4 more years. So for the first 3 years, I would give him bench money, give him about $5 million, and then the last 2, give him 6, around 6. And then the last 2 give him 15, 16. I think he would like that, because he would know, I'm going to be starting that, then I'm going to get, better money there. Because even this year, the Jets, he's only making $5 million, so I don't think he would ask for much more. Or maybe he would want to leave and get a bigger deal. But, to sit behind, Drew Brees, I don't want him to get, a huge contract, $20 million. I don't think he thinks that we're going to do that. So I would give him $5 million, until Brees, and once his Brees gone, I'll give him the $16 million, and that's how I would structure it. But, if we can't re-sign him, we'll just get the compensation pick, and that would be that, and he'd be a good backup for 1 year. And then, it really is what it is. But I think we should, he seems like he's going to be there and parent to Drew Brees. And just the way that, he's progressing, I think he could be a really good QB. And this is, the best thing that ever happened to him. Now we can sit behind Drew Brees, learn, and I think that's just really big for his, development. And I really think that, him, sitting by Drew Brees, he's number one. He's a great learner. He's gonna soak it up like a sponge. I think he's gonna do really good on that. He's gonna get better each week, every day. And I feel like when it's time for Brees, when he hangs up his cleats, do not rush Brees out though. That's one thing. Let him play as long as he wants, and especially if he's on the top of his game. If he's on the top of his game, let him tell himself when to go. Do not tell him we're starting Bridgewater and that's it, because I don't think Bridgewater will ever be to the caliber of Drew Brees. That doesn't mean he won't be a solid QB, because I think he's getting better every week, getting better every day. And I feel like he can be a solid QB if you put the pieces around him, which I think we would have. We'd have Kamara, Mike Thomas, Mark Ingram. Hopefully, if he stays, and then you have players like Traquan Smith, like we just picked up. These types of Cameron Meredith. Hopefully, we'll still have. All these players we're hoping that would really help him be very good. I think we could be I don't know about a playoff team right now. I think we'd have to build a little more. I think the defense would have to get better if we want to be a playoff team with Teddy Bridgewater. But I think he'd come in and win games for this team. I think he could kind of be like a Nick Foles player. If Nick Foles is playing on top of his game, because Nick Foles did play amazing last year. He played like a top 10 QB in those playoff games. Not saying he's a top 10 QB, but he did play like that. And I think Bridgewater, I think he could do that in a short spurt of games. So I think that's really big as well. But, in the future, number one, I think he could become, a top 12 QB if he sits behind Drew Brees, learns. I think he can be a very good QB. And I think just time will tell. It depends how much the injury really impacts him. It doesn't really look that much that it'll impact him, especially in the preseason with the Jets. But I think it's just going to be, it's a big thing for him to come learn. And I think that's what he's going to do. So I thought it was a really solid trade. I don't think we gave up that much, especially now we got the comp pick just in case anything goes wrong and we can't sign him to a long-term deal. But I think, he's probably going to love the culture here, and I think he's going to be a very good QB. So on to our next set of news, and that is Saints sign wide receiver Tanner McEvoy to a 1-year veteran minimum deal. He's a special teams player. He's a very flexible player. Actually, in college in 2016 when he came out, he played quarterback, safety, and wide receiver for Wisconsin through his 4 years there. He got signed by the Seahawks. Actually, when the Saints played the Seahawks in 2016, he actually threw a pass in a trick play, so that's kind of interesting. While Seahawks, he had 14 catches for 253 yards and 2 TDs, all coming in 2016. He does a lot. He's extremely flexible, really good depth, and I think he could do a lot for us, makes his team, and I think he really will make this team, because you're just looking at it. I don't think you really sign someone, after the third preseason game if you don't think he's going to stay and, on this team. I really think he'll be a special teams player. Supposedly he was amazing in special teams in Seattle. They raved about him there, so I think that's why we picked him up. They just didn't have enough room for him. Now I think we have enough room, so I think, bring him on. I think he could be a really good special teams player and just give us depth there, so I think that's really big. And look, if they see he's not that good, you could just cut him. You're not giving him any, guaranteed money or anything. So that will do it for the Saints news. The big news obviously was Bridgewater. That just came out yesterday, so that was really big. But, now, because this is kind of like a pre-recorded episode, I think we would have talked about the game, but because we'll talk about that in the next episode, we will talk about now this game-by-game preview. A lot of people were asking for it, so we'll give it to them this week. So first, we're going to start off with week number 1. So in the first week, the Saints play Tampa Bay at 1 o'clock in the Dome. So to me, I think we'll get the win here. I think the Saints should start off on a good note. They don't have Winston. They'll have Fitzpatrick. Last year when Fitzpatrick played, we pounded them. We beat them by a lot. I think this is a good game just to ease us into the season. You got to watch out for the upset. You got to prepare well, and you got to, really hone in, the focus for this week, because I think this is a huge game, because you got to win these division games, especially against Tampa Bay without their, quarterback. You got to win these division games really big, but I really think we should get the win. I think we'll win 28-13, so I think we'll start off the season good. That's a 1-0 start. And then the following week, we play Cleveland at the Dome as well. So Cleveland, they are an improved team, but I just don't see them, beating us. Whoever they start, if they start Baker, if they start Tyrod Taylor, I just don't think, usually we do great against QBs like Tyrod Taylor, who doesn't like to push the ball down the field. He just likes to do checkdowns and stuff. We usually do really good against him. We did really good against him last year when he was in Buffalo. That was a game where we just blew out Buffalo. I think we could do this. Now, I don't know if we'll crush Cleveland, but I think we'll beat them, and we should, have a good game. They're a better team. They added Jarvis Landry. They have Josh Gordon coming back. They may add Des Bryant, but they also have Carlos Hyde. Stuff like that. They drafted a running back as well. So I think that's just really big Nick Chubb out of Georgia. So I think this stuff that's going to make them better, but I just don't see them. They're not even close to us. At home should be another win. I think we'll get the win here 24-14. I think I think with Kamara, we'll really give a good steady pace to the Saints. Also, we'll have Breeze, Mike Thomas. I really think that's going to play big, especially because their defense is not. I think their front seven's not bad, but their backs secondary is just not that good. And I think that, Mike Thomas, Ted Ginn, and Traquan Smith and Cameron Meredith are going to rip them up. And I think, with Kamara against their linebackers is a huge mismatch, and I think we should get the win there. So in the third game, I think this is such a toss-up. We don't have Ingram in this game, and I think that's kind of going to be the difference. It's at Atlanta, and I think we're going to lose our first game here 27-24. I think it's going to be a really close game. To me, it could go either way. If we win this game, I would not be surprised. During the week, I bet I'll pick the Saints, but just right now, looking at an overall preview, I could see this is a game where we could lose, and you're just looking at it, and I really think that just without Ingram, you're going into a hostile environment. Big rival game is going to be very physical. Without your biggest physical runner, I think that could be a problem. I think the score will be 27-24. Now, I don't know who that's going to go. I'm going to put it down as a loss. Just as looking through the season, I think this is going to be a game where we could go down after two, home games. First game on the road, it's a hostile one. But, I could see us winning this game. I could see Breeze throwing, for like 350 yards, having a lot of TDs and really going off. I could see us winning this game. I just don't see us right now. I think it's a toss-up, and I'll just give us the loss here. So on to our next game, and that's going to be the fourth week, and that's going to be at the Giants. So I think we're going to get the win here, but I could see this being a trap game, especially if we win Atlanta. So I was losing at Atlanta, I think we'll be very motivated to get this win, so I think we will get the win. But, I think the Giants are much improved this season. They added OBJ. They coming back from the injury. They just signed to a long-term deal. They got Saquon, who I think he's definitely hyped, but he's definitely going to probably be a good running back, solid. Eli's average, I think, with put a good team around you, would probably be good, but I just don't see them, winning against us, especially after we're coming off a loss. We're going to be hungry, and I think we're going to get our first road win here. I'm going to say 35-21. So next is at home versus Washington. This is the game that's Monday night. Breeze is looking to beat the record here, and I think he's going to do it this game, and I think that will propel us to a victory. I'm going to go 31-13. I think we're going to have a really good game in this one. We usually play good Monday night, and I really feel like Breeze, will break the record. That's going to be really big for, the Saints, and, I think it will put the fans over the top, and I really think that, with that game, I feel like Monday night we play well. With Breeze trying to beat the record, I think it's just a big recipe to get a big win by a lot. And I feel like this is the first game where our defense is really coming in and it's going to play well. Now, I could see this game being like a 31-17, 31-21, but I'm just going to go a little more of a blowout because I feel like the defense, they didn't really have a signature game, and I think this will be their first signature game. So now we're going to go with the sixth week, and this is going to be at Baltimore. To me, this is a big trap game, and I'm going to put it as another loss, and I'm going to go 24-21. Baltimore, I think it's going to be kind of a sloppy game that will, get defeated on. Now it's at Baltimore. They're going to play physical, and just coming off of, that big game against, the Redskins where Breeze broke the record. It's going to be big, and you have Minnesota, in the future. In the next game, I could see us definitely losing this game. Again, I could definitely see us, rolling through. This is the only team Breeze hasn't beat, so I think maybe he'll be a little extra motivated. But, when you just look at it, I don't think this team coming off of the big win and then, playing a really big Vikings team the week after, I just don't see us winning this game. Look, I think we could win the game. Again, when week 6 rolls around, I could see us, I probably will pick them to win the game. But, just right now, I just think that, in the whole scheme of things, I think this could be a big trap game. But I could see the Saints going on the road, Breeze being really, motivated to get the win because it is his, only team he hasn't beaten in the league. So I think, if he can come out, win the game, I think that'd be really big for his legacy. So I think we could definitely get the win there. But again, I'm just going to have us losing in a physical game there. So I just really think that, you just look at it coming off of, the emotional high, as I said, and then going to Baltimore, which could be really big. And then you go to Minnesota, which is a huge physical game because we played them last year. Our team's going to have a chip on our shoulder. So I think, coming into that game, the Baltimore game, I really just don't see I could see us winning the game. But I just looking at right now, I think there's a bigger percentage that we lose to win. I think it's probably like 55-45, but there's a big 45% that we win that game. But I just really think that right now, I think that Baltimore, they're probably going to be coming off probably a must-win game at that point. They could be like 2-2, 3-3, and then we're coming into a game where we just come off emotional high. They're going to be motivated playing, at home, and we're going to be coming off of the big win. But look, we can win that game, keep the season rolling. That could be really big. Now we have a 3-game winning streak coming if we won that game, and I think we'd really be playing good there. But I just think see this as a trap game and a letdown game. So on to the next game, and that's going to be which is game number 7. That's going to be at Minnesota, and I'm going to say we get the win here. I think it's going to be 30-27. I think we avenged last year's losses, multiple losses there. I think we're going to come back and really win. I think Marcus Williams is going to have a really big game. I think he's going to have a couple of picks. I think he may have more than one pick. I think Breeze is going to play really good. Kamara, Ingram, and I think we're just going to overwhelm them. I don't think Kirk Cousins is really all that's what up to be. I think we can beat him easy. But, not easy, because, they're not an easy team to beat, but I think we will beat them. I think it'll be a high-scoring affair. I think we're going to get to their defense we did last year. And I think, Mike Thomas is going to roast no roads, as they call him there, again. And I don't think he's going to open those roads. I think he's going to have a really big game. Same with Traquan Smith and Ginn. I just feel like the more weapons we have is really going to help. We also struggle getting some first downs in Minnesota, so I think getting all the weapons, Watson, Traquan Smith, who get a lot of first downs, is going to be really helpful for us, and Meredith. So I think that's going to be really big, and I think we will get the win, avenge the loss. So I think that's what we will do there. And then week 8, we're back home, or not week 8, game 8. It's really week 9 because we have bye a week 6. So, I think we're at home against the Rams. I think we're going to get the win here. I think it's going to be, a very physical game. It's at home, but I feel like the fans and everything, the physicalness is going to go to our side. And I think last year we lost them. I think this year we're going to win. And I think the final score will be 24-17. I think, I don't think Goff will be able to score with Breeze in the dome. I think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be, a little more of a shootout. Not a huge shootout. 24-17 is not a shootout by any means, but I think he's going to, under the pressure, I think he's going to falter a little bit. And I just think the Rams are a little overrated themselves. So I see us getting the victory there. So on to game number 9 is at Cincy. I say we win this game 28-14. So I think we're going to get this one kind of easy. Now, this could be another trap game, but because I have them losing at Baltimore, I think they're going to win at Cincy. I think Cincy's a team that I think they got better, and I can see them making the playoffs on a very weak AFC, but I just don't see them, being the Saints right now. I think they're one of those teams like the Bills last year. We went to Buffalo and got the win. I think that could be one of these games where we just, blow them out. I'm going to say we win 28-14, but I think Lattimore will stop AJ Green, yeah. And then I think they don't really have many weapons after him. They have John Ross, who's, he's very, very fast. But, I can see he can cause troubles, but I don't think so. And then you're just looking, they have, Joe Mixon, if he takes an improved step, I think that team could get better. But right now, I just don't see it from them. So, and I think we'll get the win there. And then week 10, it's at home versus Philadelphia, and I'm going to say we're going to lose this one. I think Philadelphia is a really good team. They're a complete team. They did a lot what we did this year, put cherries on top of their team. But I think they're a little of a better team than us. I think they're just going to outplay us at home here. I'm going to say they're going to beat us 28-17. I think this is our only home loss of the season. I think we may avenge it in the playoffs if we play them in the playoffs. But I think I just think that they're a better team than us right now, which is I think we could beat them in the playoffs. And obviously the whole season is, but they have a really good team there. It's a solid. So I could see them beating us, and I will see them beating us in this game. Our only, home loss. I think if we have a home loss, it's going to be here, and I could see us winning this game too. Another game where, it's a home game. I think if we really, play up to snuff, we could definitely get the win. But I think, to beat them, if Wentz is back, I think, with Foles, I think we could beat them. With Wentz, it's going to be a lot more difficult. I think Wentz brings another aspect to the game for them, which is really good for them. But I just feel like this is going to be our only home loss. So I think that's, if we go 7-1 at home, that's fine. We could have one dud. I just think this would kind of be the dud coming off a 3-game winning streak. I think this is kind of like the bound to lose. And it's also before the big Atlanta game, which is Thursday nights. But, I think this really transitions well because you're coming off a short week, and then you got Thursday night, Thanksgiving, and I think that we're going to get the win here and a huge victory. I think it's going to be a blowout game. I think we're going to beat Atlanta, beat them down, avenging their loss early in the season, bounce back win, coming off of the Philadelphia loss. Thanksgiving, the dome will be, electric. It will be really pumping. I think it's probably one of the louder games. I think we could break the indoor record, or the outdoor record rather, in those games. I think we touched on that earlier in the podcast, I think like episode like 5 or 6, but I think this could be I think it's going to be a blowout game. I think we're going to win 35-10. I just think it's going to be one of those games where the dome is pumping, and I just don't see that the Falcons really, coming back and winning. Look, I think we were beating them 20, we crushed them the last game they played, and we did not play good in the dome in that game, and we still won by a good amount. I think we won by 10, so I think we're going to have a really good game, really good showing, and I think we're going to win by like 21 points, and I think that around 21, whatever. I said in here, we're going to win by 25, but whatever it is, I think we're going to have a really nice showing and get a victory here. But, I just don't think that Atlanta stands a chance, in the dome against us, when I think we stand a chance against them in their dome, which I think that just shows. I think we're going to have a really good game here. It's going to be Thanksgiving, Thursday night. The whole world will be watching. I really think we're going to put a beat down. And I think this is the game where this is like, damn, the Saints are really good this year. They're going to be ready for a Super Bowl run. I think this is going to be that statement game. And I think that, I think this is the game where, all the haters, snap. Because, at that point, we will have 3 losses and everyone coming in now. It's week 11. We're going to be at that point. We'll be 7-3. Are the Saints, it looks like they're there, but they've had some, tough games. They've lost 3 games at that point. But I think this is where it starts a big winning streak for us, and I think that we're going to win after this one a lot of games in a row here. So then we play at Dallas in week 13, which is game number 12 for us, and I think we're going to win here 28-14. I think, this could be an easy letdown game coming off of a big game, but I think that, if it was a Thursday night game coming after a Sunday game, I say we probably lose this game. But, coming after, Thursday night to Thursday night, you got 2 weeks that, not 2 weeks, excuse me. You got the full week there, and I think that's going to be really helpful for us, and I think we'll get the win there. It is at Dallas, but I think, we'll be able to, contain Zeke, but they don't really have much after Zeke. So if we stack the box, I'll dare Dak Prescott to throw the ball and try to beat us, and I think that their defense doesn't really stand a chance against our offense, and I think we'll get a win here. It'll be close, but I think we'll get the win in a good fight. I think it'll be a good game, because I can see Dallas. I think they're one of those teams that could be good, could be really bad, but I'm going to say we beat them there. Week 13 is we play our second game against Tampa Bay, and this is at Tampa Bay. I think we'll get the victory 27-20 here. I think this is just going to be one of those games. It is away, but I think one of those games we're just going to win based on how much better our team is compared to theirs. It's not that their team's that bad. I just think our talent's better than their talent. I think and this is going to show in this game. So I think we'll get the win there. I just think that, our talent's really going to overrun theirs. And you just look at it coming off of, now we're going to be a 3-game winning streak for this, and that's just really big. And it shows that we're ready to go. And then the next 2 are toss-ups. It's at Carolina and then versus Pittsburgh in game 14 and 15. And I think we'll split this. I don't know which really game we'll win, we'll lose. I say we're going to win the Pittsburgh game, lose at Carolina 27-24. I just feel like, it's going to be a divisional game away. I think, if I was going to pick 1 to 2 to lose, I think we'd probably lose this one. But then I can see us losing at Pitt and winning at Carolina. But I think we will definitely win 1 of the 2. I can see us sweeping that too. But I think that I think we'll lose 1 of the 2. So I just think that I think this is just one of those games. I think at Carolina where I think it's not a trap game at all. I just think it's one of those games where they're just the physicality and stuff, and their home field really just takes them to the next level. It'll probably be cold. We don't play as good in the cold, but I think that's just I think that's what it's going to be. I think but I could see us winning that game too. But just looking at it, I think this would put us in at like 4-2 at home. I think that 4-2 on the division. Excuse me. So I think that's really big as well. But I think we will probably win that game against Pittsburgh, because I feel like it's at home playing against a team that's like us. They have a lot of stars around Big Ben. We have a lot of stars around Drew Brees. Both good QBs. Brees is better, but I feel like Big Ben's definitely a great QB. But I think we will get the win there. I just think because at home we're very similar teams, but at home I think we'll get the win there in a shootout 31-28. And I can see us losing by 3 Carolina. Again, I think this is one of them. I think we have like a 48% chance to win, 52% chance to lose. I think it's going to be a very toss-up game. Same with Pittsburgh. But I think Pittsburgh are more going to win, because I feel like coming in there, they'll probably win their division already, so they're really going to have nothing to play for. And I think we'll just beat them there. They're just going to try to get their work in. We're really playing for division title. I think after this game, that gives us 11 wins if we beat Pittsburgh, and I think that really brings us towards the division title there. And I think once you're 11-4 to be at that point, I think if we didn't lock up the division title that game, I think we play week 17 versus Carolina at home, but I think we will win there, go 12-4, clinch the division. I think we'll also clinch a first round bye there, and I think we're going to be a really good team. So I'm just going to go. We'll be 12-4 at that point, going into the playoffs, and then you're looking, before that Thanksgiving game after the loss. Then we come back and we are 5-1 after that game that lost against the Eagles. So I think if we come in there, we're coming in hot, we're playing in good, and going 12-4, I think is a very good record. I think, as I said before, I think we'll go 12-4. I think that I just see that we'll be a little better than last year, not much better. Our schedule was a little easier. I think we got better. A good amount, but I think with the schedule being a little harder than last year, I think we'll just have a one-game increase. But I think this team is, ready to win in January. So I think we'll get the second seed. I'm going to say here. I think the first seed will go to Philadelphia. I think they'll go 13-3. We'll get the 12-4. I think the Rams may go 12-4 too, but we have the head-to-head because we beat them. And then, or in this scenario, we beat them because we didn't really beat them. I think the fourth, I think Green Bay is going to win their division. I think Aaron Rodgers is really the X factor in that division. I think if he plays for Green Bay, they're going to win that division. And then the two wild cards I have, in the fifth seed, I have Minnesota, and they'll go up against Green Bay. And then the sixth seed, I have Atlanta. I'm not going to go into playoff specifics, but I think that's where our seeding is going to go up. And then from there, will we win? I think we'll probably win our home games. As many home games as we'll have, we'll probably win. And then I think we can steal a road game. I feel like that's what's going to be. That's what's really how our team has been. Can we win multiple games on the road? I think it's going to be tough to do. We have never done that. So I think that could be a really tough thing. But I think we'll definitely win all the games at home, and I think we can get a win on the road. I think in an NFC Championship, we can win on the road. And I think that's just really getting into the dance. When you have Drew Brees, when you have all the stars we have, I think we have a chance at it. But, if we have a first-round bye, I think we have a very, very good chance at it. And then going into the Super Bowl, honestly, I would take any NFC team basically over an AFC team at this point. We're a lot better than them. I think even the Patriots, who, they're probably going to go 13-3. They're going to be a great team. I don't see anyone beating them in their conference. But, coming into the NFC, I could see a couple teams that can beat the Patriots, and I think us being one of them, I think we just got to get there. But look, again, I think the Jaguars are really good in the AFC, same with Pittsburgh. But I think between those teams, I think, it's probably the Patriots going to go. They're going to win their division. Probably the Jaguars will win their division. And I think the Steelers will win their division. And then the West, I think the Chargers will going to win. We first played a week with the Chargers. I think they're actually a very good all-around team. And then in that division, I don't really know who to win. I don't think the Chiefs are winning with a, first-year starter quarterback. And I don't think that the Broncos will win that division either. And I can see the Broncos being really good. They have Chubb and Von Miller, and now they have Keenum. So I can see them being very good and an improved team. But I don't know if they'll win that division. I think the Chargers are the most complete team there. Then the playoffs there, I just think I'll take the Patriots over anyone at this point. I respect them as a fan, not in their conference, not in their division. So I respect them as a team. I was rooting for them to beat Atlanta, when they came back from 28-3, obviously. But I think they're a good team. I think we can beat them. I think the Eagles can go back and beat them. And I really think I really could see a lot of teams. I could see every playoff team. I don't think Minnesota or Atlanta could beat them, but I do think Green Bay would beat them. So I guess besides the wildcard teams, I think Green Bay, they could beat them. Now, I would take the Patriots over Green Bay. I would take the Patriots probably still over Philadelphia. And then if I was really being objective, I could see us and them. I think we're going to be, them. I think it's a toss-up between the Patriots and the Eagles. I think it's a toss-up between us and the Saints, and the Patriots and the Saints. Excuse me. So I think between that, I think that really pulls up our season preview. I think a 12-4 record is going to be very solid. Now, look, there are a couple of games on there that are toss-ups. I've given us wins, some toss-up losses. I just think that's going to way to go. We do have a tough schedule, but I think 12-4 is really good. I think we have a lot of home games that are tough, but they're at home, so I think that's really good. And I think we'll get a lot of wins there. On the road, you just try to get some wins. I think the Minnesota one's a game, another game. I just think we're going to avenge it. I really think we're going to. A lot of people have us losing that game. I think we're going to win that game. And a lot of people have us losing to the Rams. I don't think the Rams can be that good this year, especially at home. I think we'll get the win there. We'll probably split the Rams and the Eagles. So, beat as is may. If you have us beating the Eagles, probably have us losing to the Rams or vice versa, like I have. But, that's just the way it is. With all that said, I think it's time to wrap up this podcast. So if you like this podcast, please share it. You could share it on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, anywhere really. Write a review on iTunes. That'd be really helpful for me, in getting better and expanding the podcast. I think that's just really helpful for myself. Also, if you like this podcast and we haven't followed already, you can follow us on Twitter at the Who Dat Dis, on Instagram at Who Dat Discussion, on Podomatic at the Who Dat Discussion. You could also subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Who Dat Discussion as well, and then you could also subscribe to our Google Play and iTunes, which is at the Who Dat Discussion. On there, please like everything. You could hit that notification icon on YouTube so you get updated on all our future videos, which come out Monday and Friday. And then also, please, leave comments as well. That would also be really helpful. Just to, you can leave comments with questions. You can leave comments just saying how we're doing, kind of like mini reviews like I do at iTunes. If you don't listen on iTunes, you can leave like mini reviews on YouTube or any other platform there. And then also, I haven't said this in a while, so I'll say it again. If you want to ask a question and have it to be answered on the show, and then you could tweet us there at the Who Dat Dis. You can leave a comment on all our videos on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play as well. Or you can email us at thewhodatdis@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, you can ask them on the show. That's just nice. We could have some fan interaction like we've had for a very long time. This week, a lot of people asked to do a game by game preview, so we gave that to them. So that was that's good. I was gonna do that probably anyways, but it's good that a lot of people are on the same page as myself. And then also, I just want to say thank you for, our past episode. If you haven't watched it already, we were joined by Brian from We Are the Who Dat Nation, so I think that was fun, having an interview. Not an interview, but I guess a guest. So I think that was fun. And then next week, we'll have another guest on the podcast, and that will be Tyler from All Saints Considered. He has a podcast over there, and that's, it's a very good podcast. Love listening to that as well. And then, when we play the Giants, I think we'll have a guest there. I know a lot of Giants fans, so one will come on and talk as well. But I think with all that said, I just wanted to say thank you, prove them right, and who dat?